Welcome to this week Inside Sim Racing June 9th edition. I'm Jessica Lopez, and here with me is
Sean Cole.
And we're filming for one of the world's largest gaming conventions, E3 2012, here in downtown Los Angeles at the Convention Center. And we're back again for our fourth year, filming this week Inside Sim Racing, sponsored by iRacing.com, where you can get 3 months for the price of one by going to our website, InsideSimRacing.tv.
Or we have that deal that we've been talking about for our special racing event, where you're going to get the Watkins Glen track, the Riley Daytona prototype, and 3 months of iRacing, all for $15 just by clicking on that racing banner at our website. We have all the details there on the ps-isr.watkins code that you can use for that deal.
So as I mentioned, it's the fourth year here at E3, and you guys got to take a first look at Codemaster's upcoming title, right?
That's right. We didn't even wait for E3 to open up. We were already at it, and yesterday we got to hang out with the guys from Codemasters. That's Andy Gray, Stephen Hood, and Paul Geel. We actually got to drive the new Austin track and try out F1 2012 for the first time. We've got some videos out already, so you can check all that out.
And you also, Darren got an interview with the developers, which will be out by the time this show airs, so make sure to catch that. And you and Darren will also be talking about your first laps around Circuit of America.
That's right.
So you guys stay tuned for that. In addition, we got to check out a new title, Forza Horizon, and you guys went to go see that at Ritz-Carlton around the corner, right?
Yeah, they did a special presentation. We're here at E3. Ritz-Carlton is right across the way. They had a suite there, and they're doing a special demonstration, really just for us. So we didn't, again, doing it pre-E3, and we got some cool things there and got to try out Forza Horizon.
And got an interview?
Yeah, absolutely. I got to interview Ralph Fulton of Playground Games. We also got to listen to Dan Grenewald, who did a little presentation for the game, and of course we got to try it out, and we got to see this new open world terrain that they're going to be using in Forza Horizon, and it's all set here in the United States in Colorado. At least that's what we've seen so far.
So if this Horizon is a success, it looks like the Forza franchise will be releasing a racing game just about every year.
Yeah, they're on a pace for that every other year release with Forza Motorsports, but with the Horizon franchise now, or added to that franchise, they can have a new title each year, it seems.
Okay, well, speaking of Forza, we're giving away some prizes to a couple of lucky viewers here. Why don't you tell them about that?
We've talked about that Porsche expansion pack coming to Forza, and it's a very big deal because that Porsche license had been tied up. Now they're in Forza, and we have some DLC codes that we're going to be giving away. And to win one of those DLC codes, all you have to do is head over to our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Inside Sim Racing, and go ahead and tell us what Porsche you like and why, and we'll go ahead and pick some people from there.
We're going to pick the very two best answers that we like, and we'll be giving away that Porsche DLC. So go ahead and enter in on that contest.
And that's actually compliments of Turn 10. So
yes, thank you, Turn 10, for providing us with that. So head on over to our Facebook page. We'll pick the two best answers that we like, and those winners will be winning the Porsche DLC pack, compliments of Turn 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, next up, GameStock Car has released a video of the Chevrolet SS Camaro that will be added to their title in the 2012 update.
You know, it's really cool. They have a video of the developers actually going at it in this. You've got Renato Simeone driving in the blue car, you've got Patrick in the white car, and then you've got Niels Huskenveld driving in the red car, and you got some great racing action by the actual developers working on it. We got footage of that, and we have a link to that video here in our description if you want to see the whole thing. We're really looking forward to that update, and we'll let you know when it becomes available.
Next up on This Week Inside Sim Racing, our friends over at Touring Pro Series have their own board at our forums at InsideSimRacing.tv. There they communicate with their drivers and talk about upcoming events and races and so forth. And speaking of upcoming races, if you'd like to join in on some R Factor 2 fun, racing or actually testing, there'll be a race at Palm Beach on June 15th, and that's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And that's the American GT Series, and if you want to get involved with that, go to our forum. Like Jessica mentioned, we have a special section for the Touring Pro Series, and in there you will find the American GT, and there are sign-ups in there for that event. Darren's already signed up for it. I'm thinking about getting in on it as well, so if you want to help them test out this R Factor 2 version of it and move forward for the next year's racing, that's the way to do it. Now, while we're on the subject of racing online, I want to just for a moment talk about real life. I mean, this last weekend, Memorial Day weekend, you had the Monaco Grand Prix, you had the Coca-Cola 600, you had the Indy 500, all going on in real life, right? Well, the online world, we like to do this as well. We had some epic online racing for Memorial Day weekend, sort of mirroring that real life stuff.
Mostly from two big races, iRacing, the Indy 500 and the World 600. And some guys actually ran both of them that day. iRacer Brennan Mercer pulled together the stats, and 1,297 drivers took the green flag in either the World or the Indy, and 193 of those drivers took the green flag in both races.
Nobody won both races in their respective splits, and only 3 drivers out of the 193 finished on the lead lap in both World Tour events. But I gotta tell you, big props go out to these 3 guys. Our driver in the NASCAR iRacing World Championship Series, Michael Conti, as well as Richard Crozier and Joseph Hayes. All 3 of them drove all 1,100 miles. 12 drivers led in both races, but these 2 drivers led over 300 miles and led in both races. And those drivers are Eric Arnold, who led 466 miles, and Guilherme Alvarez, who led 383 miles.
Altogether, 23 drivers that made it past the 1,000-mile club, and congrats to those guys and all that ran in either race that day, as well as all the other great racing that took place that weekend. Make sure to check our league race section for recaps and more, as well as the broadcast calendar to catch your favorite sim race. That's going to wrap up the first half of this week Inside Sim Racing.
Before you wrap up, why are you so green today?
Why are you so green?
It must be E3.
Must be green with envy. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, Sean's going to be taking a look at Most Wanted.
Yeah, I did an interview with Matt Follett of EA or Criterion Games and got to hear about that new title.
So you're going to see him doing that interview, and hopefully he won't be looking so green.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels, including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
I'm at the EA booth at E3, and I'm here with Matt Follett, who's one of the designers on Need for Speed Most Wanted. How you doing today?
Oh, it's great. It's absolutely amazing to see the players enjoying our game. I love it being here.
Yeah, and I understand you go by the Professor, huh?
Yeah, so I'm the Professor. It's probably because I'm normally the one that sets up the vehicle handling or the AI difficulty, but I'm also the guy who's at the top of the leaderboard, so I'm the guy to try and beat.
Okay, and that's kind of the point here of Most Wanted, isn't it? Beating your opponents or people that are higher ranked than you?
Absolutely, yeah. So this is our take on Most Wanted. Originally, you were working through a Most Wanted list of AI characters. This time, the Most Wanted list are your friends. Can you be the number one on the Most Wanted list amongst your friends? So we're using the development of Autolog, which we introduced in Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. So this time it tracks and compares everything that you and your friends do in the game.
Okay, so, and you mentioned Hot Pursuit. That was the previous game by Criterion. So this version, this is again from Criterion, because I know EA kind of goes both directions. Last year we saw Need for Speed The Run, and it was very much a story-based game. Are we looking at that kind of game, or are we going back to the roots of The Run here?
No, so obviously we've chosen Most Wanted because it's what the fans want to see. They love that game. It's our biggest selling Need for Speed game. So Need for Speed Most Wanted was always about open world, these crazy high performance cars and epic cop chases. So we've stuck with that, with the freedom of the open world and the epic cop chases.
Okay, fantastic. Now you mentioned cars. Let's talk a little bit about cars. What kind of cars are we going to be seeing in this game?
Yeah, so we're really excited this time. We wanted to go a bit more diverse with the car choice. In Hot Pursuit again, it's all about high speed, long straight roads. In an open world game, it's much more than that. So we've got some all the way from the lightweight track specials like an Aerial Atom all the way up to a Ford Raptor, which is going to be great for punching through roadblocks. You know, it's not about high speed, it's about darting into alleyways, jumping over freeways, smashing through roadblocks. Like I say, we need that range of cars. So we do have muscle cars, sports cars, supercars, but we have track specials, SUVs, specialist off-road cars.
Now, you do a lot of the work with the physics you mentioned. So these cars, are they unique handling? Am I going to distinctly tell the difference between each car as I drive them?
Absolutely, that was really important for us this time. So we've gone further, developing how the sense of weight, how they feel, how they look. So the suspension is a really big improvement. How they behave off-road. So we've got a fully dynamic surface model for our cars, the way they behave. We're showing it here today. We're showing the Impreza, an M3 and a Mustang, and people are saying they notice the difference. They notice the rear-wheel drive heavy Mustang and a real, accelerating Impreza that's able to drift and slide. So we're really pleased with where we've got to. We think these are the best handling cars we've ever had.
Fantastic. Now, you mentioned dirt there, it sounded like. Are we looking at multiple different driving terrains in the game?
Again, if we're building an open world, it's not just about driving on tarmac. So we've had to make sure that the surfaces feel right and feel right for the different types of cars. So, trying to take a supercar off-road, maybe not such a good idea, but it's going to be great on the road. So you want to choose the right car for what you want to do, whether it's the racing or the being chased by the cops or just exploring the open world and having fun with your friends.
Okay, big question everybody's going to want to know. I think of this for Need for Speed. What about damage? Are we looking at massive damage on the cars, or what are we going to see there?
Hey, this is a Criterion game, so yes, we've got spectacular damage. You'll see. I don't think you'll see a pristine car around here. It's really difficult to drive around these roads at speed and not crash into something. And if you do manage that, then the cops and the other racers, they're going to bump into you as well. So we're really pleased again with the way the damage looks in these cars.
Talk about Autolog, or I know that was a big part of Hot Pursuit. What have you done to that to make it new for Most Wanted?
So the original Autolog, it was a way for you to compare times in races. That was its primary purpose, and it used to tell you what your friends were doing. So yeah, it's still going to tell you what your friends are doing and serving up gameplay, but now it's tracking absolutely everything you do in the game. And that could be how far you've jumped over the jumps you put in the world, the speed you've got caught on the speed cameras, how well you're doing in the racing, or in some of the free burn challenge type gameplay we have in the multiplayer. Absolutely everything you do is being tracked and compared.
Okay, fantastic. And when can we expect this game out? When can we all start playing it?
Yeah, so it's not long now. Need for Speed Most Wanted will be available in October on PC, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to get in there and give it a shot now. All right, thank you.
Welcome back to the show, and great interview, Shaun.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have a Sim Rig of the Week sponsored by Tamiya USA. And don't forget to join in our Sim Rig of the Week contest over at our website to win this wonderful RC car that you're looking at here. Okay, on to Sim Rig of the Week. The rig that we're showing you this time is by Isaac Hampton, and it's a PVC build.
That's right, it's a PVC simulator rig, and he also gave us some tips on how to upgrade our simulator PVC rig. He mentioned you might consider using some 3/4 inch wood screws at various stress points along the PVC connectors, and that makes for a sturdier design.
Over glue, you can use liquid nails in conjunction with the screws. Liquid nails has a dry time of nearly 15 minutes, so you can have more time to put the PVC into place and a little bit more flexibility.
As far as tools, I would get a rubber mallet. It won't damage the PVC, and you can really beat the PVC into place. Concerning the cutting of the PVC, Home Depot will do all of it for free, and if they make a mistake, they'll give you another piece at no charge. Just tell them how many pieces you need cut, and when he went there, he brought the designs with him.
Yeah, he did take the designs with him over to Home Depot, and they have this PVC cutting machine. He bought over 30 feet of PVC at $7 a piece, and he suggests going in at a time that they're not too busy and they can take their time and cut it. And he said that the guys over at Home Depot were very thrilled to be helping him with a project that wasn't your typical home project.
Sure, I can imagine. Looking over his rig, his shift knob is for a Viper made by Hurst. He had a special adapter made for the shifter since the stock stem was too small, 5/16 of an inch versus 3/8. As far as the lights, he went with LEDs and they changed to all kinds of colors. Also, he's using Turtle Beach PX21 headphones. His seat is from a 1990 Honda Prelude, which was in great shape and ran him only $37 from the pick and pull.
He has a Butt Kicker Mini and a One Quake MQ-B1 running off a 300 watt amp. Of course, his wheel is a T500 and he's using Thrustmaster for a shifter. And if you take a look at the centerpiece, you'll note that it's from a Porsche He's very happy with the setup, and he plays a lot with the PS3 and plans on moving to computer gaming in the near future. Once he switches over to computer, he'll probably go with DIY CST pedals. Isaac currently plays a lot of GT5 and actually has watched our review on the show and credits our show to much of his sim racing. So we'd like to thank him for sharing that with us, for emailing all the information of his PVC rig build over to us, which cost him all under $200, by the way.
And it's heavily adaptable. Anyone from like 5'2" to 6'4". He talked about his brother, who's quite a bit larger than him with a big inseam, and it worked for him as well.
And he also talked about the fact that he used pine wood as the base.
Right.
So thank you for sharing that with us. All of you out there, please join in on our forums and get in our sim rig contest.
And so, Isaac, be sure to send us an email with your mailing address so we can actually send you a bumper sticker to put on that cool looking rig.
All right, so we're just about done with the show. We're getting ready to wrap up. But before we do, I have a question for you, Shaun. You're supposed to do a DIY Arduino board button box setup. I seen it laying around the studio.
Right.
And a lot of people have been inquiring about it. Can you fill
Elaborate?
everyone in? Yes.
The Arduino box is coming along nicely. I have had so much fun working on this project because, number one, any DIY project is a learning experience. So I am learning. I am dealing with parts and things that I've never dealt with, and that means sometimes you run into some obstacles, some roadblocks. So I have all of the lights working on the box. I've got the little gear indicator working, kinda. It's a broken gear indicator, but I can tell it's working. But now the problem I'm having is I haven't gotten any of my buttons working. And there's a program called PP Joy that actually allows you to map buttons into the computer. So I'm working with that, but it doesn't like Windows 7, and now I'm going through a whole new learning process on how to trick PP Joy into working with Windows 7. And when I get there, I'll be able to be done with my Arduino box.
So all of you viewers out there, stay tuned for Shaun's update and show on his Arduino button box. It's been taking almost half a year.
Yeah, it's taken a long time. But you know, that is one of the cool things about a DIY project. Sometimes they go great, sometimes you have some troubles, but those ones that you have troubles are when you learn. By the time I've figured out all the aspects of this box, I bet I'm going to be able to add my own switches or lights or do things that I wouldn't have done had I not learned extra by running into troubles.
And that's the beauty of us doing these DIYs for the viewers out there, to save them from going these same type of troubles, right?
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up the show on that note. Make sure that you like us on Facebook and also subscribe to our YouTube channel and register at our forums and at our website, InsideSimRacing.tv.
Absolutely. I mean, we got contests going on all over the place. So if you go to the website, we've got that Tamiya contest, so you can enter your sim rig and maybe be eligible for an RC or a model. We've got that DLC content from Turn 10. So if you go to Facebook, tell us why you love the Porsches, you could be eligible for that. So a lot of things you can do getting involved with our show and our site, like you said, the forum as well.
All right, we're going to head on out and go enjoy some more fun here at E3 2012. Thank you guys all for watching this edition of Inside Sim Racing, or This Week in Sim Racing. I'm Jessica Lopez.
I'm Shaun Cole.
Checker flag is out, and so are we.